Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Samlo Awesome Taoism Broadcast. So, this is your host here, Sifu. Okay, so welcome back here for some professional Taoism talk show. So today we're going to get into this boring but technical and professional topic of ghost. Oh, yeah, it's about ghost. So what is ghost and why are we talking about it right here? When we mention about like ghosts, a lot of people will think about like haunted house, people seeing spirits around, or maybe someone get possessed by something and then go crazy, that kind of stuff. Are we talking about those? Not really. I'm going to talk about what ghost really is in terms of like specifics and how it's going to affect every one of us, and how you can actually witness ghost in your everyday life. You don't need to like see some kind of spirit walking around and that kind of stuff. Not like how it works in the movies, okay? So if you're one of those that will say, hey, you're crazy, and that is not real, well, here you got to kind of sit back and listen. And so listen before you judge, because actually the real ghost is as real as it can get, and everyone can see it and be able to witness it right away. Or maybe not right away. Maybe you can witness it maybe even once a month or twice a month, a few times a month. For sure, you will have some kind of experience like that. But anyway, let's get into this topic of what is a ghost. Okay, that was a lame effect. But anyway, going back to the topic. So, what is a ghost? Previous lesson or previous talk show, we talked about this the three souls of our body. So we have three souls, okay? Three kinds of soul energy. Okay? So let us repeat. There is a neutral type of soul energy. There's a positive and there's a negative, okay? So in case you guys are not really paying attention or you didn't listen to that lecture yet, I will give you a little recap right here, like a quick run through. Okay, that's anyway, let's go on. So the soul inside our body is like energy. It's like it's in a kind of like a gas form, but it's not really gas, okay? It's energy. In Chinese is hei, right? It's basically like air, like a form of gas, but it's not, okay? It's not like the scientific kind of gas. So it's not physical, okay? It's not physical, but it fills up the physical body. Your body is a container. It contains the qi, the hei inside. There are three types of this qi inside your body. There's a neutral type, a positive type, and a negative type. The neutral type is it's very neutral. Okay, so yeah. So what's the point of like different types of soul energy inside the body? Well, first of all, you got to know, okay, the three soul, a lot of people don't get it, is that they think that the three soul are like three things inside the body. Okay, it's like three ball or three something inside the body. Okay, but it's not. If you actually remember how in science class they will tell you that, in like the neutron, photon, electron, that kind of stuff. It's really kind of like that. It's like three particle kind of properties. How can I say it? Okay, the whole soul is one thing made out of many different particles inside, and like there are three types of particles, but they are mixed. Like it's mixed up, okay? So it's not three different things inside your body. It is one thing, and that is your soul, which is a bunch of energies. And this bunch of energies inside, like the whole bunch, there are many microscopic particles that could be classified or categorized as neutral, positive, and negative. Okay. Now, I am not bringing in all the Chinese terms here so that you can understand without even learning a new language. Okay, so it's all translated. Anyway, so what does the soul do? In quick description right here. Okay, the neutral one, neutral soul, is supposed to be neutral. So what it does is it connects. It doesn't do anything positive or negative. It connects. Connects what? It connects you, the body, okay, in this reality, and what we call the pre-heaven side of you, which is your energy body, okay, in the pre-heaven dimension. And that is basically like the energy field of you, okay? If we need to use a very modern word to describe it, it's like that's the energy body of you, okay? But you cannot see it here because it's not in this world, right? But it's overlapping you, like in the same location but different layer. It's like how you look at it in Photoshop, okay? So you have the neutral soul, which connects both sides. And what it does is the neutral soul inside you will make you feel that there is a you, like you have this this feeling of you are you, okay? Like some people really lost themselves and they feel like they're not themselves anymore, okay? This is the soul that makes you feel yourself and feel that, I have like I have a purpose living in this world, right? If this soul fail, you will lose the purpose in life, and you will feel that you want to die in suicide because the soul is weak, this kind of soul, right? So there's no point of living because you don't feel that point. Yeah, there is always a point for you to live, okay? Like, if you ask anyone around you and look at you and say, what's the point of you here? They will always have a point. But when you don't see it, like you don't feel that point, then you will feel that there's no point to keep going and you will want to suicide. And that's basically what this neutral soul does. It allows you to feel yourself, feel like you have a point, you have a purpose, staying alive. So that's very important, okay? That's very important because you won't give up your own self. You won't go suicide. You won't give up anything because this soul is connecting you and making you feel that you're here for a purpose. Okay, so the second one is the negative soul. The negative soul is mainly inside the body, and it's responsible for doing negative things. So don't get me wrong. It's not about like, you're going to like kill people and things like that. No. Okay. Negative means to absorb. Okay. To absorb, to digest, break down and all that stuff, which is very simply said is most people get it as the thing that your brain does. Yeah, what it does is like kind of process ideas and information that you receive, and it basically help you absorb. So what do I mean by absorb? Well, by looking, you absorb the light. By listening, you absorb the qi, the wind, okay? So basically absorb is like you look at things and you can kind of absorb that image and you remember it. Or you can learn, okay, when you look at materials from your textbook and things, you can learn because you can absorb, right? Absorbing is very, very important. Sometimes when people keep saying things and you're like just kind of cannot respond to them because you cannot hear them, that's absorbing issue, okay? So, yeah, the negative soul is very important. And it also helps you to digest and break down information, such as processing things that you were told, processing information, things like that, trying to solve problems. That is very important. Now, the positive soul, this one is mostly like at the edge before your body touches the external space. Okay, it's mainly like the energy that is on the surface level of you. Now, this is your positive soul. Positive soul power is doing positive things. Instead of absorbing, you are outputting. Okay, so this power of the positive soul basically pushes your body to execute and to do the job and to actually do something like for real, okay, to make you move and such. It's basically all about the physical movement and how you output your power, or you try to express your heart, your feeling out of your own little body. Okay, so you now know how these souls work. Now, what is a ghost again? A ghost is often the negative soul, okay, the soul of someone, and basically it, it's as simple as this. The ghost is a negative soul, okay, it's a yum one, right? So in Chinese, we say, if the ghost is like keep wandering around, we will call that situation yum one basan, okay? Meaning the soul is sticking around and not dissolving and not going away. Okay, so how can this? Okay, so we wasted 12 minutes talking about this baby knowledge about the soul again, but how does this relate to the topic of ghost, and how can we actually witness this ghost all the time? Well, going to a real life case study or example, okay? This is actually real. A story from my disciple. So the story goes like this. My disciple, okay, their house, there's a dog, okay? And this dog has some very weird habit. And that is, when you kind of interact with him and you did something like scream at him or something like that, whatever, that makes him not like it, okay? He will go to the altar and sit there and, just pretend nothing happened and sit there, okay? And his face is always facing the altar. And what the heck is he doing? Well, one day, my disciple, because she have this ability to see the spiritual world with her the celestial vision, okay? So she can see those energy stuff. And so what happened is, one day she was there and then she shut the door, and after a while she can kind of see that there's a head there, and as if the door is open, and so she was kind of confused. What is that? And then after a while, that head or that image, okay, shows up again. Then after a while, she called me and said, "What is this?" And turned out that thing was the soul that she saw, the soul of the dog. But the dog is not dead yet. How can the soul be there? Well, because the dog was doing all the ranting and stuff, and the dog is not happy, right? So the dog keep ranting and whatever, and all that soul energy, when the dog keeps thinking, okay, the soul energy will eventually travel to a place that the dog lead it to go. And apparently this is her room. So the dog's energy is there, and she saw that energy because the dog is like putting his thinking energy, you can say, like, that power inside that is used for thinking and pondering. That power, okay, it's right there, so you can see it. And so, yeah, if someone, keep thinking about you and then ranting and like going on and on, ranting and stuff, or complaining or, whatever, that is going to have similar problems too. Now, what kind of problem can this create for people? Like, if, just having these thinking power around, okay, so what? Like, it's not going to bite me, and, this dog is not going to go like crazy and knock down the door and stuff like that. No, right? So what kind of harm are we going to face when this kind of thing is spotted? Well, very, very simple, okay? The this kind of situation, okay, if it accumulates, like if that energy is ignored or you cannot see it and it accumulates, okay, the energy is like a form of chi, right? Like energy is not solid. So these things will want to find a new home to stay. Like, it will search for anything that is specifically a physical object, okay, or physical thing, such as your body, such as, anything in the house and such like that, okay? So when it found a target, okay, this energy will soak itself into these target and then blend the energy with the energy that is already there. Let's say, if this is actually the same thing as saying that they will possess, okay? That is scary, but yeah, it will possess onto objects. So, what is this? This is ghost possession. Wow, sounds so creepy. But yeah, that's basically what ghost possession is. So what happened, like what could have happened if, let's say, my disciple don't know that this is going on and can clean it up? What can happen? Well, the soul energy is the negative soul, right? It's responsible for your thinking and, like the brain power, what you call that, okay? So it's like some kind of power that can push your brain to think. Well, yeah, like it's not really the brain that think in our perspective, but now you kind of understand it, okay? So it basically changes the way how you think of things. And it carries the pattern of the emotional state of that person or dog or pet or whatever. So this dog, let's say the dog is very sad, okay? So the energy goes into you if you absorbed it, okay? And right now you're all happy and cheerful and all that positive stuff. But at the same time, this energy went into you. So it will reduce the amount of happiness. It's like how our air conditioning works, okay? So let's say your house right now, it's like super hot. Now, what you do with air conditioning is like you put in freezing cold air. And then the air of that AC and the room mix together and you get a more comfortable middle kind of temperature, right? Or let's say the heater, okay? So it's like super cold and you blow out hot air. Now the hot air circulate and make the place warm, right? So the soul of this dog is very mad and, like, not mad, but sad and maybe he is like kind of hopeless too. Okay, now all these things will add to your emotional state, like your feeling, and then it will change the way you feel and how you will think. For example, you're so high right now, you're so happy, and you look at like Amazon and there's like this TV and you want to buy it because you know it's a good deal right now, it's on sales, and it's just a nice time to buy a TV, you know, like that. That's fine, right? That is fine. But this soul energy kicks in, it suddenly introduced a thought of like worry, sad, hopeless, and then it leads you to like kind of go roller coaster with all kinds of negative thoughts, and you end up not buying the TV. Damn, that's bad, right? Yeah, basically that's how it affects us. Or let's say, if you have a friend, okay, and the friend always hate you for some reason, okay, this friend is like super hateful, like he don't like you, and he have a lot of complaint about you and things like that. Okay, so his soul energy go to your place and possess onto you, or maybe your child, maybe your dog, and suddenly you and your child and your dog is going to be not harmonized. You guys will fight because part of the energy inside them is from this crazy person who got their soul energy over, and it eats into the maybe like to the dog or something, and the dog starts to be not loyal, naughty, don't like you, you know, things like that. It goes to your if your child or your children absorb that energy, it turns their character around. It's like if they are very bright and happy kind of guy or kid, now suddenly they will be a little bit more sad and quiet and lonely, you know, that kind of vibe. It changes everything, you know, like it's a big change when you see this kind of thing happen. And what's happening is basically the ghost, which is the negative soul that is going around the place, and it just contaminates, okay, like a virus. So basically that is the ghost possession. And yes, it does change the way how you feel, how you would think, like all that logic pattern. And yeah, it's scary, but it's not like how it is in the movie. Of course, this is like real stuff, okay? And it happens all the time. And that's really scary. So yeah, basically, that is the real ghost that we want to talk about. That is the real ghost that everyone can witness, okay? It's basically the yin soul, the negative soul, or the energy that is responsible for thinking and processing information and that kind of stuff, okay? So yeah, basically it's just so easy to be affected by this kind of energy that is coming at you. And so you ask, but like, how are we going to prevent this? Like, how can we, you know, be safe if there are so many things coming at us all the time? You know, I cannot guarantee, you know, who I know will be, you know, doing this or that and thinking this and that of me. But what can we do if we actually felt that there's actually some kind of impact? Okay, what can we do? Well, honestly speaking, for normal people, it's very hard because you can't really touch that energy with your normal self. So it's kind of hard. Okay, and that is why you can learn the magic here and use some of the lineage power, okay, to clean up these things, which is also equals to what we call the exorcism, okay? So that's basically one very practical example of how the evil how like what we call the evil or the ghost can affect people, and why you should be knowing the Taoist magic or learning this Taoist magic to make your life more like yourself. What do I mean by yourself is that when you have all these like extra energy from here and there going to you, well, the next time you will say something or do something, it might not be like fully you that came up with it. It will be like a solid part of you, and also all these things that happen like around you add up together to change the decision you'll be making today. So that is basically that's the kind of ghost that we deal with all the time. You don't really have to like see any like spirits and stuff like that to actually know these things exist and how, you know, all that magic works. Okay, you don't need to see. The only thing you need is that you know that what this is, and then you just need to apply the method that we teach in the lineage, and you'll see the changes that come back, and which is very rewarding and very important. Okay, so basically now you know about this ghost and like how you can witness this ghost in your normal daily life. It could be like your grandmother or your uncle or someone, you know, like someone that you might not think they are so religious and into this magic and stuff, but they still could be sending their soul energy to you. And if you are there to like solve problem and check, oh, why am I sending this and that? Okay, when you're like kind of thinking about it, okay, all these things are going to link up. Okay, so I hope you guys do like this show and find it practical. It's a very practical lesson, and it's actually very scary thinking about like how many people are actually doing things and feeling things and thinking things that is not actually 100% what they have inside. Like it's like you try to think that every decision you made or every kind of word you say, okay, it's all yourself, but at the same time, it's not actually 100% you. Now, how can you guarantee that your next thing that you want to say is actually 100% yours? There is actually no way to guarantee. And there's like more of a chance that everyone are actually saying things based on themselves and also all these elements around them. It's kind of hard. So for us, we're Taoists, we got magic, we got this magic power, and our magic power can allow us to purify and to exorcise these unwanted energies out of our life, and so that we can be ourselves again. Now, it's a long process, even like to learn and to get, you know, all that progress going. It's not easy, but at least I can guarantee you that you will be feeling yourself again. You're at least in control of what you are facing, and not like kind of guessing around and see what is you and what is not. You know, it's important to find out who and what you really are inside. Okay, so today's lecture, it's about 30 minutes, and time is almost up, so we'll end the show right here. So thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and remember to share the show and press like and such. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.